Hi Aries, here's a general look at your solar chart for May 2014. Now you are currently the sign of the zodiac that is hosting Uranus, and so whenever that planet comes near the degree of your natal sun, it's going to be upsetting the apple cart. Things are going to be flying around all over the place, and things are not going to be going according to plan. Things are not going to be as you expected. Things will be a bit unpredictable. In fact, that could be an understatement. However, it's like a storm, really. I call it the Dorothy planet because of the whirlwind connection, Wizard of Oz and all that. But the thing is, it is to clear the decks. And there's an awful lot about clearing the decks with you at the moment because you do have Saturn in Scorpio. And in May, you've got this ongoing aspect between Jupiter and Pluto, particularly the first half of the month. And then, of course, there's also the long-term one with Uranus and Pluto, which is affecting very strongly you cardinal signs. So you're right at the forefront of that one there, and that is definitely a game changer. So the Jupiter-Pluto one that's been running for quite a while, over the whole of last month, means that this is a time for letting go in order to broaden into new areas. So what do you need to chuck out in order to improve your life? I mean, quite literally, you know, scrapping this, going down to the dump with that. What ballast, though, do you need to drop in order to expand into fresh territories? And what lengths will you have to go in order to more fully inhabit the version of you that you're now becoming, which is a bit difficult, I know, because until we get to the version of us that we're now becoming, we don't know what decisions to make. However, like the Hermit card from the Tarot pack, if you know that one, it's a bit like walking forward with that little lantern held out in front of you. Now, I know you like to rush into things, and you do, but even if you have, you need now to be able to know when to, like the song about the gambler, you need to know when to hold them. You need to know when to fold them. You need to know when to stand up and walk away. So even though you're in the game, you do need to, and that's called acquiring wisdom, really, and control. So control yourself and become yourself more. And this could be a time when you're deeply questioning why you did this or that or the other, or just your general way of being, or it can be your beliefs or your habits, your knee-jerk responses, that kind of thing. And you've got to, you've got to ask yourself, what do I hold most dear? Because this is a time to prioritize, streamline, downsize, whatever you want to call it, declutter. Be weighing in the balance what you've got to let go of so you can inhabit a whole new dimension of existence. So no pressure there then. But Jupiter is about broadening horizons, and Pluto is about cutting to the chase, cutting out the fluff. It's about finding the truth. And the two things go together, the truth and expansion. And then along with the truth comes power, because Pluto is also about power. So instead of being, disorientated and feeling manipulated or controlled by them out there, circumstances, the establishment, whoever it is we want to blame, it's about wresting back that power to ourselves. And if it means downsizing and letting go of objects or relationships or locations or jobs or whatever it's about, or it can be, one's own physical health and the diet or whatever it's about, then this is going to be a really good time to be doing that, so that one can move more into broadening of the horizons, overriding or breaking through the resistances all around that say no, not allowed, can't, denied, no entry, trespass, whatever, taboo. If it's for you, then don't let it go by you. And this is also a time when you could be feeling like you really want a more intense interaction, a more real, a more authentic interaction. and a connection which evolves and changes you. And maybe you're not thinking about being changed or evolved, you just know you need that more, because you need that space that comes with, and this is Jupiter Pluto. So very much, yeah, this weighing up and being stuck, you know, one foot in the past and one foot in the future sort of thing. Other news, until the 21st. I don't think I mentioned the dates of Uranus, actually. I'll just give you that. So those of you who are most feeling this wild, mad, joker, Uranian energy, which is part of the game changing along with Pluto, and just now Jupiter is in the mix too. And last month we had Mars, so we had all four of them at it. And really it's just petering out over the beginning of May, so we've still got that Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus mix going on at the beginning of May, but more emphasizing the Jupiter, Pluto bit of that and the Uranus, Pluto bit of that for the whole of May. But just for the Uranian part, which is in your sign, you are the host of Uranus. It takes 84 years to go around the wheel, and you got Uranus at the moment, which is about freeing you up. Even though, you know, it can be a bit of a muddle when you're in it, but it is about freeing you up. It is about freedom, liberation, you know, becoming more your real self. And even though we think we've got there already, there's still more to learn. There's still more to discover. It's almost like letting the universe lead us in a way, although you mustn't, of course, just leave it all up to the universe. You have to be playing your part in this. You have to be a collaborator here, a co-creator, and going with that flow. So stay flexible. And the sign that it's going to be the part of your sign it's going to be affecting the most will be those of you with 13 to 16 degrees rising of Aries, or born in the first week of April, basically, you know, the second decanate of Aries. Now, other news, until the 21st, we've got the Sun going through a very materialistic area, having your beady mind and beady eye fixed on the finances, your material security, your discussions might be revolving around that. And looking at, okay, how can I capitalize more here? What can I do to bring in more? Or what can I do to make it easier on me? What practical steps can I take to capitalize on my asset that I already have, whether it's the garden or, you know, just a really good, sort of strong pair of arms and hands or legs, I mean, you know, or a good sort of area that you're in, or there's always something. And of course, through tiredness, through boredom, whatever it is, we kind of tend to overlook stuff. But that's what it's going to be about. And looking at also negotiations around objects, possessions, properties, that kind of thing. And definitely stuff. So figuring out how to capitalize upon an asset, how to improve, you know, the income, and so on and so forth. And then Venus is still in this very background area as the month kicks off, where she's been over April, and keeping your feelings to yourself, not wanting to put your cards on the table about something. This is a very good time to just keep a low profile with what you feel. Use your imagination more. It's great for art. It's great for spirituality. It's great for you to immerse yourself in whatever feeds your soul, Aries. And then Venus moves on the 3rd, and then for most of the month she's in your sign, this planet of beauty, physical balance, or rather I should say balance, really, harmony, and potential material success comes into your sign. And so that's no bad thing. It will tend to make you feel more outgoing, more, you know, meeting the world with a smile, reaching out to people more, people wanting to reach to you because they pick up on that Venusian vibe. And so it's a good time to apply for something maybe, or to just connect with somebody that's important. This could boost your love life anyway. And it's good news for business too. And it's good news for, you know, all relationships. And this is a time when you could be feeling a bit more self-indulgent. So yes, have the makeover, you know, definitely, but don't overstretch yourself financially. I mean, because you can with Venus in your sign. But if you understand that the Venus energy can be flowing more towards you with her potential material success and abundance, then try and just kind of work that energy to your advantage in whichever manner you deem to be appropriate. Now, from the 8th onwards, Mercury moves into a very outgoing, chatty area. So you've got Venus and Mercury both kind of connecting really, really well in your solar chart, and increasing interchanges with others, you being very much more, you know, sociable frame of mind. Could be more paperwork, there could be more, you know, forms maybe, but also it's a great time for making new connections, or, you know, blowing the dust off, or getting out and about more, definitely, and learning stuff, gathering information, and that of course can be over the wires as well. The Sun moves on the 21st into a very sociable, busy area, and you could be meeting and greeting more, and connecting over the wires. So that's the Sun coming into the same area as Mercury, and there could be more to get your head around, more to learn, more to listen to, maybe schedules, itineraries to consider. And then right at the very, very end of the month, Mercury goes into a very sort of more introspective, quieter background area. Well, I don't mean background, I mean sort of within the castle walls area, attending to your own stamping ground, your own backyard there. Until July, Mars continues in this very long transit through your opposite sign, and this gets you you needing to interact in a very kind of physical, productive, dynamic way, in partnership or in one-to-one with another. And just be careful, because you can be very hasty, throw caution to the winds, take a bad decision in the team, in the duo. Maybe you don't confer, maybe you just ride roughshod over them without meaning to, just a bit clumsy. Or it could be the other way around, actually. They could ride roughshod over you without meaning to, or maybe they do. Don't know, but just be careful wherever Mars goes, because Mars likes to go in with guns blazing before having thought things through, being your ruling planet. So just bear that in mind. But overall, cooperative interactions on a professional or personal basis can be very beneficial and very productive, very, very productive indeed. And as long as both horses are pulling the carriage in the same direction, as it were. So don't go leaping into some kind of agreement or contract with somebody else, or relationship with somebody else, before you've really thought it through. And also don't let them do it with you either. But there can be somebody who is willing to take action with you or on your behalf, and that's going to help you in your life, help you to be more effective and functional than if you were going it alone. So just remember diplomacy, remember patience and people skills during this long transit of Mars going through that area there. I've mentioned Saturn already. Of course, Saturn is also in a long transit, carrying the energy of the snake, which sheds its skin, and so that means for you, it's been in there for already a year and a half, nearly. Yeah, about a year and a half. So you know, you should be clearing the decks. You should be in a way allowing that completely natural process to happen, letting go of previous perspective, situation, relationship, expectation, because you need to be rebirthed, you need to be reborn, and you can't do that with all the clutter in the way. And there can be a removal of a financial setup that you relied upon, Aries. This is one of the ways this Saturn things work. And her style is to put us between a rock and a hard place wherever she transits. Well, for you, this is a joint financial area. It's also an area to do with, you know, what you rely upon somebody else to provide, to pool maybe together. So maybe you rely upon them for property or money, or maybe they rely upon you and you're obligated to them. It's always a sort of a mishmash between two different you and another party, whether that's a single person or an agency. So I seem to be doing Egyptian dancing for some reason. Don't know why that is. Snake? Could be. And so there is this, you know, you can't rely on that anymore. So the rock and the hard place comes in, and that is when the tough get going, because that's when the going gets tough. And then you wake up, smell the coffee, realize what you got to do, and you realize your limitations in this area, and you just get on with it. And you will actually, in this area here, slowly be transitioning into a fresh perspective and turning over a new leaf, because this really is the major gear change area of your chart. And now next July, Jupiter is in the home base area of your chart, meaning that that is a place that you can you feel maybe more secure, more balanced, that there is something there, you know, a location, a neighborhood that you kind of just feel more of a sense of belonging there. And if there has been problems in that area for you, then this is a great time to move. And you can also be harking back to the past, maybe a little bit too, with Jupiter in that area there. And maybe there is a blast from the past in some way or another, or maybe the past, you pick up the threads of something, some decision or some action you took in the past, more in the present now. So that's it for May. If you know your rising sign, your moon sign, listen to the forecast for those. And also all this is written up on my website, along with the dates of which part of your sign certain transits will be affecting in May. And I'll see you the next time.